let's start today's class. Okay, so today we are going to learn about creating any plan in AutoCAD using either your X line or ray line. So we have this construction line option and another one that is ray line. So it will help you to create your plan very easily uh, with this ray and construction line and using one modify tool that is offset. So let me share you that. First, let me create one ray line that is very simple to create. First, you will be defining one start point that you can define either 0, comma 0 or any coordinate value or any random point with your mouse. And after that, one point you will be you'll be mentioning, and through that point, it will pass in infinite direction. Okay. In that direction, it will have infinite length. So let me specify. And if you are having this ortho mode on, so then you can have one straight line and horizontal line. Okay. So that I have created two line. So this has infinite length and this has infinite length. And now if I use offset and then I can give values. So it will be very much easier for me to create this. Just go for offset and then put the value like you can go for like 250. That is your wall thickness. After that, you can put a value for your next room, like 3000 and again 250. Like this, you can go for it. Okay. Again, you can go for like 3200. This way, you can put all the dimension with the offset and you can create your plan very easily. Put the values like this way, you can create your plan easily and you'll be trimming the unwanted parts and you will have your plan ready. Now you have another option that is like construction line. So before drawing this construction line, let me tell you when you will be choosing this ray line. So when you have a plan like a rectangular shape or any uniform shape like rectangle, square, then you will be choosing with ray line. And suppose you have a kind of L shape. So for that, you can go with your construction line. So why so? Let me share you that. Let me delete it first. Uh, yeah. So Excel is the command for your construction line. And then you will specify one start point and then one through point. So it will go infinite in both direction. So you are mentioning one through point in that direction, it will go infinite and the opposite direction as well. So if you specify 1.0 comma 0, that will be the start point. So this is the start point and then you specify one through point and in that direction, it will go infinite and the opposite direction as well. And here you have, so from the start point, it will continue creating your construction line. So again, from that start point, you can specify another through point like that, and it will continue until you press escape or enter, until you exit from your command. So right now I have one plus symbol with my construction line, which have infinite length. Okay, you cannot find any end of your construction lines or your ray lines. Now again with the same thing, you can go like the offset distance you can provide, and you can have it. So with this you can create, see, so from this end, if you have some portion of your plan going beyond, going below this side and like this, and so you can create L shape or any uh, like uh, non-uniform shape you can create with. So if your plan is like a non-uniform shape, so then you can go with construction line for creating your plan. For creating your any non-uniform shape plan, you can go with construction line. Okay, so this will be very much easier to create. So uh, let me create one plan quickly. Okay. Uh, if I'm having one plan, let me just quickly check. Uh, I have shared in WhatsApp. You guys can check it. Okay. Now let me quickly create that ground floor plan with the ray line. So my startup point will be 0, comma 0. Let me start from that point, and the horizontal direction. Okay. Now let me set my unit, quickly set my unit. So I'll type D dash DWG unit. And here I need to set inches, 1, enter, and display format, not architectural. I'll go with engineering, 3, enter, linear display precision, 2, enter, and scale object from other drawing upon insert, yes, match insertion unit to drawing units, yes, and scale objects in current drawing to deflect change in units, yes, and include objects in paper space, yes. All right, and now let's go for it. So O, enter, offset, and here you can see that it will take inches. So right now I need like 27 feet. I'll press enter. So 27 feet, 27 feet. Okay, and then it will take 40 feet, 11 inches. 40 feet, 11 inches. Okay, so offset 40 feet, 11 inches. Okay, and about your wall thickness, that is also provided. Uh, 10 10 inches are the outside wall thickness and 5 inches are the inside wall thickness. So let's go for it. Uh, Let me select, and here that is going to be 10 inches. So your default unit is inches. Now, if you don't press the symbol, it will take as inches. Okay. So whatever is the default unit, for that you don't have to press any symbol like that. Same, we'll go with 10, enter, 10, enter, 10, enter. Okay. And from this, next is your 10 feet, right? So go for 10 feet, enter. So you see that your bedroom is 10 feet by 12 feet. So that means first we mention length by our width. So in the x direction, we have our length, that is 10 feet. The y direction, we have our width, that is 12 feet. Okay. And next is the inner wall thickness, that is 5 inches. And from that, we have 4 feet 6 inches wide passage. You can go for this wide passage, or else what you can do from this, you can type 10 feet, enter, and go for 5 inches, enter, and there you have. And next you will go with 12 feet, 12 feet, okay, and then your 5 inches, okay. Then about this next, let me do this here next. So that is going to be your 12 feet 5 inches. So 12 feet 5, enter, 5, enter, and then 6 feet 7 inches, 6 feet 7, enter, and then 5 inches, enter. That I'm having right now. Okay. And for this, so let me trim some parts. It will not create any mess or any confusion. So let me trim it first. So let me trim this. Let me trim this as well. And like I don't need this parts. Okay. Now let me go for offset again. And here I need 10 feet 6 inches. So I'll go with that, 10 feet 6 inches. So here I have 10 feet 6 inches, and then again my 5 inches here I have, and here I need 12 feet, 12 feet, then 5 inches, 5 inches, and there I need 5 feet, and this one is going to be 8 feet. So before that, let me go with the 5 inches, and here it will be 8 feet, and it is going to be 5 inches. 5 inches. Okay. So, you can understand that the dimensions are from inner wall to inner wall. Okay. So your room dimensions are from inner wall to inner wall. Now let me go with the trim. So let me do the trimming part. Okay, and about this. All right. Okay, fine. Now we have done. We're done with. Now let me delete these also. We have to trim. Okay, and these we can trim. But this also we can trim. But here we need columns, so we can have those. Okay, enter. And about this also we'll be trimming it. So let me just select this and delete it. And we are having all of this. And here we have D3. Here you can see that we have D3. So the D3 dimension is 3 feet 6 inches, but the wide passage is like 4 feet 6 inches. And this one, like after this door, you have 1 feet remaining. So uh, uh, you have to equally divide it. So left side place 6 inches and right side place 6 inches. Okay, so what you can do is you can go with the offset that is going to be 6 inches. You can place it here and here. And go for trim, trim this part, trim this part, trim it, trim it, trim this, and then trim it. Okay, so all right. Like this, you have to trim all this. Okay, so you can complete it, right? Uh, Now, uh, what you can do is trim this part, okay? And there you place a rectangle, place this rectangle everywhere. Where is your column you place with the rectangle so that you can easily select this as a separate element. Okay, now about creating your door symbol. So for that, what you have to do is create one line. uh, Select line, and here you can also create your door jams. So for that, you have this for 10 inches. So uh, the door jam where you can specify like this midpoint, draw from the midpoint, and that you can define 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay, and give offset. So that You can provide 3 inches, 3 inches. Okay. That is going to be like 2 inches, I guess. Okay. And connect with line. And then the straight line, same straight line. So before that, you can create this side also. You can go for the mirror. Before that, let me just place it like this is your 2 inches and this will be 2 inches. So your panel length is going to be your 3 feet 6 inches minus uh, this 2 inches and 2 inches. So 3 feet 2 inches is going to be the panel length. So 3 feet 2 inches. Okay. And about this, you can go with the mirror. So let me select this. This is going to be mirrored there. And now, right now, I don't have a middle point here, right? I don't have any middle point. So I will not waste my time creating any line here. I will not take that extra step. So after selecting my object, I'll press enter and then it's asked me for specifying first point. And for the first point, what I'll do, I'll hold my shift and then press right click. And there you have this mid between 2 points. So this point and this point, within this 2 point, between this 2 point, I'll have that midpoint. Okay. And the second point of your mirror axis will be in the vertical direction. Click here and it will be placed. Erase source object, yes or no? No. All right. Next, to provide that arc, you can go with the start center radius or start center angle or start end direction that you can provide. Okay, so I can go with the start end angle or start end radius if I have the value. So always provide start point and end point in the direction of your anti-clockwise. And the radius value is 3.3 feet, 3 feet 2 inches, right? And enter, and that you have. Okay, so like this, you will be creating your door symbols. All right, and this way you will be completing your plans. Okay, now about creating your elevation. So for that also you can choose this construction line. Okay, so now for the construction line, what I need vertical lines. So I can specify vertical, and there I can like I can place on these points. Okay, all right, that is done. And you can create one for the gap that you are going to provide. And then after this is going to be the ground floor. Okay, so after that ground floor you will specify all the other levels. So go for this offset value and then like 2 feet 6 inches for PL, 2 feet 6 inches, then your 10 feet 6 inches, 6 inches, then 5 inches, then Again 10 feet 6 inches. No, for this time we have 10 feet. Okay. And then your 5 inches, right? 5 inches, 5 inches, then 2 feet 6 inches, 2 feet 6 inches, then not from this one, 6 feet 6 inches, then 4 inches, right? So you have placed all the levels, you can say. Okay. And after that, you have this this doors and windows as well. So for that also, from that you have to take these lines. So let me create this quickly. So W is 5 feet. Okay. Uh, so that let me create it quickly. Okay. So hold shift right click mid between 2 points and specify the 2 points, and there you have. And then go for 2 feet 6 inches, offset it both side. Okay. Then can offset it again like 2 inches and 2 inches like this. Can offset it, and here as well you can offset uh 1 inches and 1 inches, and for this 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay. Now go for trim. So trim this part, trim it. Okay. So trim this, trim this, trim this, trim this. And here
Can you
also
repeat
you need to,
the position?
sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you repeat how to determine the position of the window?
Uh, it's better like you place from the middle. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now let me go for that construction line. Go for this vertical, and here you will place one. Here you will place one. So that you have, right? And now what I'll do, you will go with that from that plinth level, you will specify uh, your seal level, right? So now for this, do one thing. Let me break this line. So here I have this break at point or break. So I'll go with this break at point. So I'll select it, and then it's asked me for a point. At this point, I want to break this line. And here I have two line. Again, I will go with this break at point. I will select this, and this will be the break point. And here I have this one. Okay, so I can offset it. So offset distance is going to be like 3 feet. Let me go with that. 3 feet is going to be my seal height. Okay. And after that, my window height. So the window height is going to be 4 feet or 4 feet 6 inches, whatever it is like. So you can define if it is not provided here, you can define the normal height. So it's generally 4 feet or 4 feet 6 inches. And it also mentioned. So here it is already mentioned like 5 feet by 4 feet. So we will go with that 4 feet.
Sir,
Okay. Yeah.
have you decided your skill level?
Yeah. So that is the common value, like 3 feet or 3 feet 6 inches.
Okay.
Yeah. So here I'm taking like the common value, but for your plan and everything, it will be decided what will be the seal height, and it will be mentioned. Okay. All right. So this way you have to create your elevation. All right. So just go for trim. So I don't need this part. I don't need this part. I don't need it here. I don't need it here. But here I need it, right? In this direction at the upper floor also, I have another window. So I need these lines. So I'll keep them. Okay. And about the design, so you will have that design. So here it is not provided for this plan. Here it is not provided. So you can go with that general dimensions. All right. So let me go with that. And before that, let me create Chaza over there. So for that Chaza, let me go with that like offset. So here, let me go with the 4 inches for the extension. Okay. And here it is going to be like this. It's going to be like this. So there is no gap for this like window and Chaza. So there is no gap for this. So now let me delete these vertical lines, and there you can mention so that will be totally mentioned like what is going to be the uh, height. All right. So what is going to be the height? So that will be mentioned. And about the Chaza projection, so that you know that what is the Chaza projection? So that is your 1 feet 6 inches. So in this direction also you have your Chaza over there. So let me do that. So this is going to be, so you see that I'm tracking one point over there with the help of this point. So this is because my object snap tracking is on right now. So F11 is the shortcut for your object snap tracking. So the object snap will be tracked. So on this object, I'm tracking this snap point. Okay, so with the help of this snap, I'm tracking this snap over there, and the projection is going to be 1 feet 6 inches. All right, 1 feet 6 inches. And with the help of your polar tracking, you can track 45-degree angle over there. Okay. Sorry. Uh, just a second. Let me delete it. Here I have the design like this. So you can go for uh, uh, 2.6 inches or 2.5 inches that you can provide. like, so let me go with 2.6 inches and then let me go with that angle. So 45-degree angle, that is here. And then you can define the height. This is going to be the height, right? Okay. And that you can match 45-degree here and 45-degree here. Okay. Trim this. Sorry about this one. So this one you can draw it. I hope you understand. Okay, sorry, I have missed it. You can draw it, right? And about this one, so you can go for it like that 2.6 inches distance you can maintain. All right, so let me show you that. Offset 2 point, sorry, 2 feet 6 inches. No, sorry, that is 2.6 inches. 2.6 inches. And you can go for trim like this. So you can provide this on this chaza as well and on the other parts as well. So this way you have to complete and trimming other parts. I hope you can create, right? You all can create, right? You can complete the elevation
Yeah, yes.
and the plan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Uh, Now let me delete this now. Okay. So this one I have created with the default layer and default properties. So I have already mentioned that object has three common properties. That is your color, line weight, and line type. Okay. And at the default condition, all the properties are set to by layer. Here you can see that is set to by layer. And right now we have the default layer that is called 0. Okay, that is called 0. So the layer means you have better visibility, better control for your objects, uh, and like better management for your objects. So like when you have a bigger project, uh, then you need to control all the elements, and uh, like some parts sometimes you have to uh, hide, and you have to work on those projects. So uh, when you have less amount of components, you have uh, less confusion, you can work better, and uh, your file is less heavier, so it will lag less. It's like that. So you have to control your elements visibility, and like you have to work with accuracy, so there is no chance of mistakes. So you go with the precaution, you lock all the components which you don't want to move or do any changes, so you lock them. So for this better control, you have the layer. So let me go with that layer, and so now let me create layers. So like for each component, for each building components, you will be creating your layers. So for that, you have this option to create new layer. Okay, this is your layer management window or layer properties manager. So within this drafting and an annotation workspace, home tab, and layer panel, you have this layer properties manager. You can type the command LA enter, that also can open this layer properties manager. And here you can see this is the default layer that is named 0. You cannot delete this, you cannot rename this, but you can definitely change the properties that you can do, but you cannot rename, you cannot delete. And if you place your dimension, another default layer you can find that will be def points. That is also another default layer. So you cannot delete your default layers. So you cannot rename your default layers. You can change the properties for that. And we have some properties. I'm coming on this, all the details about all these properties. Okay, so here about the plot style, I will come about this plot style option as well. So let me create new layer first. And you will see that whenever you will be creating any new layer, at the default, uh, you will get the previous layer properties. And after that, you have to change it. So now let me create like a main wall or outer wall or exterior wall. So let me create exterior wall, exterior wall. And here let me to change the color. So let me assign this color. And about the line type, so here I need line type, some other line types. So let me load it first. Sorry, load. Okay, so load them, like center line you need, and dash line if you need dash, hidden line you need. Okay, so load them. And for this exterior wall, it is fine with the continuous, it will be continuous line. And now let me go with the next wall, that is going to be my interior wall, right? So for this, let me assign this color. Okay, so these are going to be fine. About this line weight and all, these are going to be fine right now. And this way you can create for all the components, like for so let me create stair. Okay, can create like all D1 for each door and all, can create. Okay, for W1 you can create. For Shaza, this way you can define all of them. Okay, you can create. Now let me quickly go for it. And about your column and all that, you can also create column. So for the column, let me go for this one. And you can also create for text. Text will have a particular color, like this one. Can assign for dimension, dimension using this layer. Okay, so the dimension you can go this color or this color. Okay, for this one, let me go with this color. Okay, so that you can define. All right. So for all the other components, you can define all your layers. All right. So now let me go with this. This is the column. So for that, as because I have already created. So right now, to change the layer, what I'm doing is I'm selecting this object, and there I'm changing it. Here I'm changing it. Okay. And suppose at the initial after creating your layer, so this is the best practice. Uh, First create your layers, and then you see this green check, that is means this is the current layer, this is the active layer. So in this list you will see this is the active layer it is showing. So right now if you select like your exterior wall, so this is right now the uh, active layer. So whatever you will be doing, any object you will be creating, so with that layer, the properties of that layer, it will be created. Okay, so right now, as because I have already created all these objects, so let me just select all of them. Let me just select all of them. And let me deselect this. So deselect this column. For deselecting, I'm holding shift and left click. And now change the layer to exterior wall. Okay, so I can easily understand which are my exterior walls, right? And about my interior walls, let me select them. Okay. So generally select all of them. Okay, if I'm missing, don't go with that. Do the proper as per your understanding. So these are my interior walls. Okay. And for this is going to be the window like W1. This is going to be the Chaza over there. Uh, Chaza, yes. This is going to be the Chaza. All right. So for that, it will be better. So right now, suppose if I want to work with only Chaza, right? So for that, what I can do is all the other layers I can off. All the other layers I can off it, and I'll simply on. I'll simply on the Chaza layer only, and all the other layers I'll make it off. And right now, see, this is your exterior wall is the current layer. So when it is current layer, it will ask you for the permission that are you really want to off the current layer? Yes. So let's turn off. And about all this, let me turn them off. So I want to work with the Chaza only. So I'm having this here. Okay. So like that you can work with. And like you want to make all the layers on back again. So for that you have this option, turn all layers on. So with the single click you can turn on all the other layers. Okay, so this is your first property of your layer. When you turn it on, so you have the visibility. Uh, when you turn it off, it's like it is present in AutoCAD, but what you do is you turn it off. Means you hide it. Like so, if I give you an example, like suppose you are suppose you are in your room currently where you are right now, and you have your light on, so you can see all the objects within your room. And right now if you turn off the light, all the objects will be present within your room but you can't see. It's the same thing here. When I turn off the layer, it is present within AutoCAD but you cannot see, so you just simply turn off the visibility. All right. So now if I go for like let me right now turn off this Chaza layer. So right now you cannot see, right? But if I try to select all the objects, Control A, so here you can see that my Chaza layered objects are selected. If I go with Control A, that is select all. So all the objects present in AutoCAD will be selected. But if you try to select with the window selection, you cannot select it. If you try to select with the window selection, you cannot select it. But you can select with Control A. Okay. So right now it is present in AutoCAD. Okay. So even if you turn it off, uh, it's like the same amount of data are present in this file, right? So you have the same amount of data present in this file right now. So it is as heavier as it was initially. Okay, now suppose you really want to work with this interior walls and you don't want to make it heavier. So like you have lots of interior walls within this and you have to scroll it down and scroll up and pan and you have to work with your interior walls there. So what you do is you go with uh, freeze option, freeze or thaw. So this is the option freeze or thaw. This is the option freeze or thaw. So for the interior walls, I need to have this on. So what I'll do, I'll make this interior wall active. So this layer is right now active. So the restriction is like you cannot freeze the active layer. You cannot freeze the active layer. Agar, uh, is there anyone who cannot understand Hindi? Everyone can understand Hindi, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. आप लोगों ने एक गेम खेला होगा कि
No, sir, I
फ्रीज.
can't.
Okay, okay. So you may have played one game that is like you tell others to be freeze, right? Sriharsa, have you played that kind of game?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what? Who is the player who said others to be freeze? Does that person ever freeze? No, right? So who is the active person? That person never freeze. So it's the same like the current or the active layer will never be freeze. So here, if you try to freeze it, even it will tell you that this layer cannot be frozen because it is the current layer. Okay, and to froze other layers, you can do like freeze the layer of selected objects. Here, you can choose this icon, go for this freeze the layers of selected objects, and you select this object, all the uh, layer, that layer is freezed. Okay, and now if I go with the exterior wall, so for that I will select this object. So this object is uh, created by exterior walls, and this by column, and this by window, and this by Chaza. So these all are frozen right now, and this I haven't created any object by dimension and steer and text, right? Uh, so right now you see that by selecting I have frozen all of them. And even if you try to press Control A, you can see that these objects are only selected. So you can press like all, select all, or that dash, that command you can press dash all or dash AI dash select all this command. Okay, and here you can see that these objects are only selected here right now. So these are present. These are the only objects which are present in AutoCAD. So whenever you froze, so all the objects created by using these layers are restored in your RAM, and when you thaw them, so this means you thaw, so that is recalled from your RAM. Okay, so for that, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. So let me create one. Let me create one circle over there, and here with the other layer active, let me do the hatch here. So hatch is like filling the boundary with a pattern or with a color. So for that you can choose this one. So like you can go with any other layer, like you can go with concrete layer, you can define concrete and you can choose any color like this color you can define. Okay, all right. So here I will fill a concrete pattern within this area. So for that I have this hatch option, and the command is H enter, and then you have to choose the pattern. So here the pattern is selected and you have to select the right type. So this is the concrete pattern. So you select it, and here you will be placing. So generally the default boundary option is your pick point. So you pick this point, and surrounding this area, your boundary will be selected, and you click on it and you defined it. Okay. All right. Now you can change the pattern as well. After that, you can change the pattern. And suppose you have earlier uh, selected any different layer, and now you want to change the layer. So without escaping from your hatch command, you can change the layer. So come to this properties drop down arrow here, and here you have the layer option. So this is the layer I have selected, concrete. And if you want to change with the dimension or any other layer, so that will be changed. Okay, so from here you can change it. And you have the transparency option, so it can be transparent. Okay, so transparency is not needed. And about the angle, so you can go with the angle. Okay, can check where you can see the maximum pattern. You can set that angle. Okay, so let me set with that. And about the scale, so here within this area, this pattern is if it is lot bigger, so you can change the scale. You can scale it down, so like 0.5 you can scale it down. Okay, and I think this is perfect for this area. And about the associativity, so let me have this associative option checked. So that means this pattern is associative with this boundary. It is linked with this boundary. Okay. Now let me do one thing, that if I copy this, let me copy it here. Let me copy it. Okay. So here I have, and here I'll be placing it. Okay. So here I'll be placing it. Now, what if I do is like my concrete is off, turn the current layer off. Okay, so right now, if I move it, if I move this, and place it over there. And you see that is the associative option was checked for that layer. So right now, if I on the concrete layer, and you will see that it is back here. So as because it is associative, even if you change the boundary, you change the boundary position, so it is linked with the boundary. So you don't have to update or change the hatch pattern. So it will update itself as per the boundary condition. Okay. So if I do the same thing for the other, now if I try to copy, let's go for copy. And if I go with the this one freeze after freezing this one, so this is right now active. So let me do the one active and let me freeze this. So right now this is freeze. So that means that concrete pattern is not present within your AutoCAD. So if you copy, you cannot copy that hatch pattern, right? So you can place it. Okay, so let me just place it and I will change it. So how can I change it? I can click on this and then I press spacebar and I can mirror it. Yeah, mirror. So with the spacebar, you can have your stretch, move. You can see this is right now move, so you can move it. And you want to move duplicate, so you can click on this copy and you can create copy. Press spacebar again. You can rotate it with that base point, and you can copy for this rotate as well. Again, press a spacebar again. You can scale it. For that also you can copy. If you want to change the base point, click on this base point. You can define this as a base point. Okay. Press spacebar. You can mirror it right now. Okay. So for the mirror you want to copy, you can click on this copy. So spacebar is very helpful. After clicking on any grip point, you can press spacebar for the transformation. Okay. And right now if I thaw the layer, and now you see that we have here but not in here, right? So now if you do like this, go to copy. Now if you uh, do freeze this, and now if you like move this, now if you move this, here it is placed. Now if you thaw the layer, you see that here you have. So as I have mentioned that whenever you freeze this layer, all the objects which are created by using that layer, that is stored. When you freeze it, that is stored in your uh, memory. And when you thaw them, so it is recalled from the memory. So it will be placed on that position. Okay. So from which position it was stored back to your memory, in that position it will come back when you recall. So as because it is associative, so now just changing anything on this, you will get back uh, your hatch back again to that position. Okay. All right. Fine. So This was the function for your layer, and we have this lock option. So we can lock these layers. So like you can lock your exterior walls, you can go lock and other layers. So whenever you lock it, you can see some changes in the color. So your color got faded just, and that means also like you cannot change anything, you cannot transform, you cannot move, you cannot rotate, you cannot change the position, you cannot do the changes. So like you want to move it, so select enter, you cannot move your uh like main walls, the layer which you have locked, you cannot change that position, you cannot change anything. So that is right now locked. So whenever you place your mouse on that object, on those objects, so you can see that one lock symbol is showing you, right? And now we have this plot option, this plot. So if you click on this plot, let me go with this unlock, and let me click on this plot. And here you see one red minus symbol is showing with that plot symbol. So that means even if you place these object, which is created by using this exterior wall layer, the objects within this layer will not be printed. So you can control the printability for each layer. Okay, so this how you can create your layers. All right, and you can control, you can arrange, you can shortlist your layers. So that is the better management for the layers. Like you don't have to see all the list together. Like it will be hard to, if you have a bigger list, so it will be really time taking for selecting each layer by finding it out. So let me go for it. Like you want to go with a wall. Suppose you are right now working with walls only. So for that, what you can do, you can uh, group them. So for that, you have this group layer. So first create one group layer, wall, enter. So this is the icon for your group layer. Like you are adding them into a folder. It's like the same. So you're grouping it. So one wall group is created, but there is empty. So it's like the same what you create in your desktop or laptop. You create folders and then you add files within that. So it's like the same. So all the layers are created here, and you see the wall group is right now empty. So from your uh, all used layers, you select this exterior wall, click and hold, drag to this wall and release your mouse, and do the same for interior walls. So right now, let me add the interior walls as well. So click, hold the click, drag and release on this wall group, and you have. So this way you can add all the layers. So right now you see this group is right now active. So let me active this interior wall, and within this list you will only see this these two layers which are available within this group. So this way you can sort, you can filter, and you also have one property filter. So like for the property filter, can apply uh like uh miscellaneous, all the miscellaneous like dimension, text. Okay, so uh for the dimension, let me change it to 0.00 mm, and for the text, let me go to 0.00 mm. Okay, dimension, and about all the hatch, you can create one for your hatch. or you want to make it separate for all the hatches, like with the name concrete and all, you can create like that. But it's better to create one single layer for your hatch, because you may have many patterns for your hatch, so it will be creating unnecessary layers. So better you create one layer for one particular layer for hatch. Okay, so your dimension, your text is there. Okay, so this dimension and text will be added in miscellaneous. So let me create with the property filter. Okay, so property filter will work with your existing layers. So here let me give the name miscellaneous, or the short form. Let me go with that. And here you have to add the property. Okay, here you have to add the property. So you can go with the status, like which one is active, so that will be selected or not. Here you can filter with a name, so you can provide the name. So if you provide like star and uh, like 2D layers are there, if you want to separate 2D layers, so you can go the 2D and then star. So wherever the name like 2D names are there, so those will be filtered. So right now, uh, type, what properties I need to filter? So line weight, right? So line weight, I will give, click on OK. So right now these two layers are filtered out. Okay, and these two layers will be added within this miscellaneous. Okay, so right now this miscellaneous is active, and if you click on this text, and here you can see these two layers are there. So like this you can create, you can filter it. You can filter. Okay, you can delete this layer. You can click on this, you can delete. So for deleting, you may not have any object out there with this layer. If you have any object created with this layer, first you have to delete that object, and then only you can delete the layer. Okay, so this how you can create all your layers. And here you can see that how many layers you have. It is shown here. Okay, you can easily identify how many layers you have within your DWG file. You don't have to count. You don't have to count. It will show you. Okay, all right. Now, suppose these are the layers which you need most of the time, or these are the layers you will be creating for all of your projects. So will you be creating all of this project, all of these layers each and every time, each for each and every project? No, right? If these are common, if these are common, so you should not create each and every time. You should not waste your time. So first, give it a name. So how I came to this layer status manager. Here you have this icon, layer states manager, or Alt S is the shortcut. Click on this. You have this window opened, layer states manager. Click on new, and new layer state name. Provide that. So let me give your batch name, that is batch sun, and you can provide the description. So let it provide demonstration. Click on OK, and here you have, and you have to export it. Okay, you have to export. There you can export it, and .las is the file type for your layer. You save it. Okay, and close, and let me open a new drawing file. And here you see right now I don't have anything within this drawing 2, and I can open this layer properties manager and then layer states manager, and then I will import it here. File type will be LAS, and this one, let's click on open, restore states, and I have all of them. Okay. And for the line type, it may not restore your line type if you haven't loaded them. So make sure you have loaded first. So let me just do the Control Z. Let me undo. Okay. So before doing the import, make sure you have loaded all the layers. Sorry, all the line types. Okay. Make sure you have loaded all the line types. Then only it can be restored within this new drawing. Okay. You have to keep that in mind. All right. So that is all about today's class. I hope you have got the idea. So with the layers, you have to create your plan and elevation. Okay. So for elevation, you can create one separate layers as well. For plan, you can create separate layers. You can like group them. For plan, you can create different layers and you can group them with a group filter or properties filter. For elevation, you can create different layers and you can group them. Okay, so as per your idea, you can create, and with the layers, you create your plan and elevation. All right, so that will be the next task to create that file. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.